The moment Jungkook's bold statement began circulating, "Jin is no longer my brother," a new wave of confusion swept through the fandom, raising a level of collective alarm rarely seen in the group's decade-long history. The intensity of the reaction sparked one central question: could such a declaration truly uncover a long-buried rift between two of BTS's most beloved members? Or are audiences witnessing yet another case of digital distortion amplified for emotional impact? This question, unsettling as it is, now sits at the center of global discourse, prompting fans to re-examine everything they thought they understood about the group's internal dynamics. As the clip spread across multiple platforms, the conversation shifted from shock to analysis. Viewers revisited the footage again and again, dissecting Jungkook's tone, micro-expressions, posture, and even his breathing patterns, searching for any clue that might reveal whether he was speaking out of frustration, exhaustion, vulnerability, or something far more serious. Yet this obsessive rewatching produced more questions than answers. Was Jungkook expressing a momentary emotional strain, or was he inadvertently exposing a fracture that had been quietly growing behind the scenes? The ambiguity only strengthened the debate. What made the situation even more perplexing was Jin's complete silence. For many, his lack of response became a blank canvas onto which every imaginable narrative was projected. Some interpreted the silence as evidence of emotional distance. Others saw it as restraint, a refusal to add fuel to an already escalating storm. Still others wondered whether Jin himself had been unaware of the brewing tension until the statement went viral. But here arises another crucial question. Are we interpreting silence as meaning, or is the fandom imposing meaning onto silence? Complicating the discourse further were the numerous edits, reaction videos, and commentary threads emerging on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and several other platforms. Each of them framed the moment differently, some dramatically, some analytically, some outright sensationally. In this fragmented media environment, context became increasingly difficult to trace. Is it possible that the emotional weight of the content shaped interpretation more than the content itself? When viewers consume dozens of heavily edited versions of the same moment, perception inevitably begins to shift. This leads to an even more uncomfortable reflection. Have fans been reacting to what happened, or to what the internet insisted happened? For many longtime observers, the discourse exposed a deeper pattern, one in which audiences instinctively gravitate toward dramatic interpretations, especially when they involve beloved figures. Conflict narratively outperforms harmony. Tension is more clickable than unity. A single ambiguous sentence spreads faster than an entire hour of positive interaction. And in an era where virality often outweighs accuracy, digital storytelling becomes a powerful force capable of reshaping truth. At this juncture, a critical question emerges for everyone engaging with the story. Do we genuinely believe Jungkook intentionally signaled a broken bond with Jin? Or have we allowed algorithms, edits, and emotional framing to mold our understanding? Questions like these are not merely rhetorical. They are essential to navigating a media environment increasingly optimized for reaction rather than reflection. Many viewers, upon recognizing how rapidly narratives shift online, began urging one another to step back and reassess. The pressure of public life, individual growth, military service, artistic ambitions, and changing identities can certainly influence relationships. But is that enough to conclude that a rift exists? Or is this entire moment another example of how audiences can unintentionally construct a narrative out of partial information? This is why skepticism becomes more important than ever. The information circulating regarding this incident comes from mixed sources, many of them unofficial, incomplete, or out of context. TikTok edits, Twitter threads, YouTube commentary, and short clips taken from longer interactions all contribute to an emotionally charged storyline, but none provide definitive evidence. And so the question remains, are we witnessing truth or participating in its distortion? To our viewers, the choice is yours. Do you believe Jungkook's statement reveals a genuine fracture? Or could this be a narrative unintentionally amplified by fans hungry for meaning, by algorithms designed for engagement, or by content creators seeking drama? As always, your reflection, your skepticism, and your willingness to question the information presented to you form the foundation of a more grounded, thoughtful discussion. As the discourse surrounding Jungkook's alleged declaration continues to intensify, a deeper and far more provocative question arises, one that urges us not only to analyze the narrative itself, but also to confront our own responses to it. At this point, one essential inquiry becomes impossible to ignore. Do we genuinely believe that the statement, "Jin is no longer my brother," reflects a real conflict? Or are we merely being swept into a dramatic storyline shaped by media and algorithmic influence? This question may appear simple, yet its implications reach far beyond surface-level curiosity. Before drawing any firm conclusions, we must acknowledge that the information circulating right now comes from a wide variety of platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and other media outlets that often compete to create the most clickable narrative. But how often do we verify the sources behind these stories? Are we still capable of distinguishing fact from interpretation, or are we unintentionally letting viral narratives replace reality? In an era of rapid content fragmentation, the boundary between truth and collective imagination becomes increasingly blurred. Pause and reflect. Have you personally seen the full context behind Jungkook's supposed statement, or only a highly edited emotional clip? If what you saw was merely a 5 or 10-second video circulating across your timeline, is that truly enough to convince you of a serious rift between the BTS members? Or, provocatively speaking, was the clip intentionally crafted to manipulate your emotional response? Digital media has the extraordinary ability to magnify ambiguous moments until they appear monumental. A dramatic soundtrack, emotional captions, and reaction-style commentary can turn even the most harmless scenario into a brewing scandal. But is the narrative authentic, or are we consuming a media product designed to pull us into a cycle of speculation? And more importantly, are we, as viewers, unknowingly becoming actors in this constructed drama, believing, sharing, and amplifying a story that may not be true at all? What's even more fascinating is how public reaction often shapes the narrative faster than actual facts emerge. Emotional comments, viral tweets, and speculative opinion videos begin constructing an alternative truth, one built on assumption rather than evidence. This compels us to ask, are we genuinely searching for truth, or are we subconsciously drawn to the entertainment value of celebrity drama? If we examine contemporary digital culture, one pattern becomes clear. Sensationalism spreads faster than accuracy. Ambiguous claims travel further than official clarifications. Emotionally charged content is remembered longer than factual reports. Do we truly desire the truth, or do we, perhaps unknowingly, crave the excitement that uncertainty provides? This question extends far beyond BTS. It reflects how we consume information in the modern age. We must also consider another possibility. Could the entire controversy be the result of misinterpretation, selective editing, or even deliberate fabrication intended to generate engagement? In a digital ecosystem driven by clicks and virality, dramatic narratives are far more profitable than calm, verified information. If that's the case, then we must ask ourselves, are we being played by algorithms that understand how to exploit our curiosity better than we do?